Please pardon the length of this video because I wanted to go in detail, and yes, I've said it all before, but it looks like I have to say it again.
I'm Raymond Hightower. I have a lot of mechanical experience. In the last 5 years, I've done a lot of experimenting with magnets.
Personally, I like experimenting with rubber bands for 5 years, but to each their own.
Now I have combined the properties of magnets with basic mechanics.
Let me guess, you've created a Starship warp drive.
I have designed a magnet-powered motor.
Oh, of course, something even more impossible than a Starship warp drive. I should have guessed.
A motor that will be powered by only magnets.
Therefore, a non-motive motor.
My design is a mechanical motion that utilizes the force of any size and any number of magnets.
Rubber bands! You're supposed to use rubber bands!
Magnet-powered motors are scalable to any size, up to a point.
And so are leprechauns.
And can motivate cars, machinery, pumps, electricity generators, breeze fans, lawnmowers, etc.
No, 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 and etc. Where's the fucking stop button?
The total size and weight of a magnet-powered motor is comparable to a gasoline motor with the same horsepower.
Since there's no such thing as a magnet-powered motor, how could you possibly know how much it weighs? Just asking.
Magnets are a form of stored energy.
No, they are not.
Man-made magnets continue to be magnetic for 400 years.
No. The electromagnetic field in a magnet, human-made or otherwise, lasts billions and billions and billions of years. The thermal agitation in a magnet, where the collective electromagnetic fields of each electron in that mass being aligned, totally different. It could be anywhere from a few minutes if you heat up the magnet to a few 100 million years if you put it in absolute zero. Stating as fact that the lifespan of a human-made magnet is 400 years is just wrong.
However, they fade to half their force in 200 years. Magnet-powered motors will run 200 years without refueling.
Imaginary devices don't run at all, let alone for 200 years.
Then all they need is fresh magnets.
And a source of energy.
Old magnets are recycled.
What a coincidence! This is exactly how Starship warp drive works.
A neodymium magnet cube, 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches, is 8 cubic inches.
And he didn't even use a slide rule. I am impressed.
2 of these magnets require 400 pounds to pull them apart.
That's 1,779 newtons, and if you're going to pull it 1 centimeter, you need 142 joules. Where are you going to get that energy, buddy?
Or if you turn one around 180 degrees, then it takes 400 pounds to press them together.
Which is 18 British thermal units. And where are you going to get that? Is it going to be gasoline? Is it going to be electricity? Are you going to hand crank it? Has to come from somewhere.
And if they are free to move toward or away from each other and have enough distance to accelerate, they will move at light speed.
And thus we have our Starship. Magnets moving at light speed, of course, would take an infinite amount of energy. I detect something wrong with this hypothesis.
So what we have is any number of multiples of 400 pounds of force that can be converted to torque.
After adding a source of energy.
And that torque is extremely responsive.
Like my previous girlfriend Caroline, who is barely half my age. And I'm just so ashamed about that. Nah, I'm not.
Magnet-powered motors make only a little more noise than electric motors.
That's right. I would love to see the metric involved in how one calculates how loud a completely imaginary, impossible device is, especially compared to other devices that really exist here in the real world. How is that measured?
Magnet motors don't generate any heat.
For exactly the same reason that fire-breathing dragons don't either.
They don't need batteries,
Neither do leprechauns.
wind, solar, or petroleum.
Neither do vampires. In fact, if you try to power a vampire with solar energy, it doesn't work.
And they don't consume oxygen.
Leprechauns don't consume oxygen either, and for the exact same reason.
There are no emissions, no pollution, and no toxic waste.
Just like winged horses, and for exactly the same reason.
The power output of magnet motors is consistent whether night or day, underwater, or on land or in the air, or in outer space.
That's right, the power out on imaginary devices, always completely consistent.
I think of the word obsolete when I hear someone mention wind, solar, battery, alternative fuels, or nuclear.
There's another term for that. If all those are obsolete, it's called the Stone Age.
Except, magnet motors won't replace all electric or gasoline motors.
That's right, what magnet-powered motors won't replace, winged horses will.
I am aware that others have designed magnet-powered motors.
That's right, and there's a hell of a lot of people out there who are also aware that Earth is only 6,000 years old. And there's even more people out there who are aware that Earth is actually a flat disk and not an oblate spheroid. Equally as aware.
I believe mine is a more efficient design.
Let me get this straight. You have an imaginary device that does the impossible, and it does it more efficiently than other imaginary devices out there that also do the impossible.
Some patented magnet motors don't work.
You mean magnet-powered motors don't work. None of them work, let alone if they have a patent, which most don't. There's a hell of a lot of working magnet motors out there. There are no magnet-powered motors out there. It is impossible.
And the ones that do work,
there are no working magnet-powered motors.
Don't have much power.
Imaginary devices don't have much of anything.
I've looked at many magnet motor designs that didn't work.
You mean magnet-powered motors, and of course every single design that you looked at won't work. It's impossible. You have to add a source of energy.
And with my magnet motor experience, I can see why they didn't work.
And the answer is because magic doesn't happen. The very laws that govern the universe, how the universe functions, says it won't work. You have to add a source of energy for any device to produce work. That is, you have to add the ability to do work to a system before it can do work. This seems bloody obvious to any intelligent individual. I don't know what your excuse is.
And every analysis helps me to see what will work.
And here's a clue.
An interesting fact is that the technology to build magnet-powered motors has been around for 150 years.
No, it has not. There is no such thing as a magnet-powered anything, let alone a magnet-powered motor. It is impossible. You have to add a source of energy before any motor works. Electromagnetic fields are not sources of energy. You cannot perform work with an electromagnetic field. You have to add another source of energy to the electromagnetic field before it will perform work.
Magnet-powered motors could have been everywhere before gasoline motors.
No, they could not. They cannot exist. Therefore, they will never exist.
80 years ago, man-made magnets began to be made 50% stronger. And 10 years ago, they began to be made another 10% stronger. I really want to show you my design, but first I have to raise the money to file a provisional patent application.
Thus, we come to the reason why I'm making this video. This person wants people to send him money, and he won't tell them why they should until after they send him money.
And before that, I want to build a proof of concept.
So, you just spent 7 minutes telling people about a device, its features, its functions, how efficient it is, and you have no idea if it is even possible to do, let alone actually have a working device. And people should send you money?
After this site raises $3,000,
that's right, his device, which would be worth trillions and trillions of dollars, is only going to cost him $3,000 to make, and instead of going to the bank to get a loan or mortgaging his house or, I don't know, putting it on his credit card, he wants donations. It almost suggests to me as if he doesn't actually believe what he's claiming to believe.
And after about 3 weeks, you'll see a video here on this site of a working magnet motor.
A device that performs miracles, that violates the very laws that run the universe. It's only going to take him 3 weeks. Somebody should call the Vatican because they've been waiting years in between miracles and they don't even post them on YouTube.
When you do see how it works,
he means when we do see that it doesn't work,
you'll be amazed at how simple and logical it is.
Simple, yes. Logic, no.
I've had my moments of, aha, eureka, that's it, I've got it.
And so do Scientology customers. Doesn't make them right, doesn't make you right, doesn't mean that you have discovered a way to violate the laws that govern the universe.
And I'm saying, why isn't everyone excited about this?
Because not everybody is ignorant.
I've told some people, I have $1 million idea.
And I hope they were a whole lot more politer to you than I am.
And some said, come back when you have the $1 million.
You mean your profit would be in the trillions of dollars. Trillions. Not a few million. Not just 1 million. And you won't go out and max your credit cards and build this amazing device and get back trillions and trillions of dollars. Does anybody else besides me see the problem here?
And some said, I'll help for 51%.
Thus, for a second time, I point out the reason why I'm making this video. You are not happy and you're complaining that you're only going to get, at most, 49% of trillions and trillions of dollars for a device that will only cost you about $3,000 to make. Does this sound reasonable to anybody out there with a working, functioning brain? I call bullshit.
And some said it won't work.
The universe itself says it won't work. Magnets are not a source of energy.
But I know what I know.
Flat earthers know what they know too.
Venture capitalists require a potential return of 20 times their investment at ultra-conservative stock prices.
So get a credit card, pay 11 or 13%. You will get back trillions and trillions of dollars. What's the problem?
And they usually want 51% of the business. So
you're unhappy with 49% of trillions and trillions of dollars.
Offering you a return of 20 times your donation is actually cheaper for me.
What do you mean by offering? Some idiotic moron out there sends you $10 and you're going to offer them a return of $200. When your device fails to work, where are you going to get that $200?
Plus, it will save me 6 to 9 months of getting registered with the Securities Exchange Commission in order to sell stock.
You want to sell stock, make your company public for a device that is worth trillions and trillions of dollars. You want to sell stock in that. You know what we call this in the United States? Investment fraud.
$10 neither makes nor breaks any one person.
Yes, but it means they're out $10.
But $10 from each of 3,000 people can start a business.
Robbing just one bank also can start a business.
I am offering a reward of 20 times your donation if the business prospers.
If the business prospers, a device worth trillions of dollars, replacing fossil fuels throughout the planet, if it prospers,
you can donate any amount up to $30,000 for a return of up to 20 times your donation.
That's right, he's going to let people donate $30,000. This is not actually a business transaction. You can just donate $30,000, and if he gets around to it, maybe he might give you back 20 times what you've donated. Anybody else see a problem with this?
And your return could be quick, because I'll use half of all profits to pay what I have promised.
I would dearly love to know where this profit is supposed to come from. You cannot build the device that you claim you want to build because it is fundamentally impossible. You are not allowed to sell a device that does not do what you claim it does. You are not allowed to sell investment opportunities in a business that is fraudulent. So tell us all, where is this profit going to come from?
The other half will be used for corporate and facility expansion.
Half of nothing is nothing.
The first orders will be huge from all makers of electricity generators.
Only a complete moron would buy a device that doesn't exist.
A magnet-powered electricity generator
Is impossible.
can be connected to your house and substantially reduce or eliminate your electricity bill.
And so can flying unicorns, and for exactly the same reason.
Just one magnet-powered electricity generator for every home and business in the USA would profit $17 billion.
And the profit is even higher if you also have in every home a leprechaun with the leprechaun's pot of gold.
Add to that replacing half of all electric motors and replacing half of all gasoline motors,
Which means half of us will now be walking.
would be another $50 billion.
No, actually it would be trillions and trillions of dollars. In a previous video I already did the math.
Magnet motors will be a whole new industry.
No, we've had magnet motors for over 120 years. You mean magnet-powered motors, and of course they are impossible, so there will never be an industry for magnet-powered motors.
I spent all my money building a dozen magnet motor models and ran out of money right when I got the key understanding.
What a coincidence! You just happened to run out of money just when you needed it the most. Now you need 3,000 morons out there to send you $10 for nothing, and by golly, you'll perform miracles. Just what a coincidence! Golly, who could have seen this happen?
I need $2,000 to build a proof of concept.
Wait a minute, 11 minutes ago you said you needed $3,000. Where did that $1,000 go to? $2,000, and you can't somehow get credit on your credit card for $2,000 for a device worth trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, but you want people from YouTube to send that money to you. Anybody, again, see a problem with this? Is it just me that sees the problem here?
Then $1,000 to start the patent. Then I'll need $30,000 for tooling, to start production, and for marketing.
Wait a minute, you have your magic winged unicorn behind your cart. You need to get your ducks in a row, to mix a metaphor. You're talking $30,000 to produce a device that you have absolutely no idea if it will work or not, which of course it will not. Why don't you run along there, apply for another credit card, build a device on credit, show the universe that it works. The universe is going to laugh at you, but, you know, ignore the universe laughing at you. Show a banker that it works. You will get millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. People are going to line up to give you money. And you'll get back trillions. What's the problem here? I don't see why you need to beg to morons on YouTube for money.
I could earn the money I need in a couple of years, but that is too long. The world needs magnet motors now.
The world needs Captain America! Or pizza! Sorry, pups.
Our great-great-great-grandchildren could be born into a world that has no oil. If you have a child or grandchild, you have a good reason to donate $10 for a world less dependent on oil.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
Magnet motors can power countries that don't have large oil resources.
So can leprechauns.
You could donate $10 for third world countries to have affordable water wells.
Magnet-powered water wells.
I'm asking you to donate to make this more efficient, cheaper, and cleaner form of energy available to mankind.
And President Obama, when he gets elected, will change things.
If you can't donate, that's okay.
That's right. It's okay if you don't send this clown some money. He's given you the permission not to.
However, it is equally necessary to circulate this message to make magnet motors a reality.
But first, of course, you have to change the laws that govern the universe.
If you like this idea, please tell your friends about this site.
And your friends will confirm once again that you're an ignoramus moron.
If you have a Facebook account, please encourage your friends to visit this site. Also, click on the like button in order to increase the traffic to this site. Thank you.